Which freshman is turning heads and who is the most fun to play with? The players spoke post-practice today. We heard from Jayden Williams, Jonathan Cruz, and Trey Washington. They spoke in depth about what they're going through in fall camp and what they're talking about. We got backup offensive line stuff, all that's good stuff on this post-practice edition of the Locked On Ole Miss Podcast.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to this post-practice edition of the Locked On Ole Miss Podcast. Players spoke. Jayden Williams talked a little bit about the number 2 offensive line and how it's coming together. You heard a little bit about that. You heard about who stands out to Trey Washington as far as playing against and playing with. And the same thing goes for Jonathan Cruz, who talked about his 2 55, 56, 57-yard game winners, field goals that he did at Charlotte. Big stuff. But before we get started, I do want to tell you about this. Built Bar. If you haven't tried Built Bar Puffs yet, you're deriving yourself of life's greatest joys. And guess what? There's a new flavor. Ready? Delicious, indulgent cookie dough covered in chocolate. That's right. Built has done it again. Let me introduce you to your new favorite. Cookie dough chunk puffs have a light and chewy texture, real cookie dough chunks, and of course, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. There's the Built Bar over there. Yeah. Run to Built.com and snag a box for you and the family. It'll be the perfect treat. Or you can really find a good hiding place and just hoard them for yourself. Like all Built Bars, the new cookie dough chunk puff is covered in 100% real chocolate, and that means they're healthy and tasty. Chocolate-covered cookie dough with light, fluffy texture. So good. So this is what I want you to do. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCKEDON15 and get 15% off your order. That's all one word, LOCKEDON15. Use promo code LOCKEDON15 to get on Built.com to get 15% off your order. All right, without any further ado, let's get to the players. All of them talking, that's the reason you guys are here. Scrimmage is 36 hours away. See, this is kind of big time. This is the most important 2 weeks of the year, in my opinion. And our whole identity will be stretched out and decided by preseason game 2. All of this will be worked out by the time they get into game week preparation. So I'm looking forward to that. But Saturday is the first big day. Second big day is the following Saturday. And after that, you kind of are what you are. You can get a little bit better. You can get a little bit worse. But you kind of are what you are. So let's hear from the players real quick and hear what all they have to say. See you later.
Fall camp's been going good. Of course, last year I didn't really practice much because I came off a shoulder. I came up here on shoulder surgery. So spring, that's when I got my first full-time practice, and now I feel like I'm getting even better in the system and getting more confidence. So yes, I think I can play if anyone goes down.
Yeah, I've talked to him about maybe twice about it, and it was pretty cool when I first got here. It's one of the first things we talked about, just a good laugh, but I don't think he took it very lightly. There's also another coach on this staff that keeps reminding me of it every day, so it's good to have those memories.
Really, consistency is really the main focus I've been having, and from year 1 to year 2. So being consistent with every rep that I'm counting on to perform, and consistency with each rep.
I think mentally it was the best thing that could have happened to me because, of course, I had to build my strength back up, but it allowed me to learn the playbook, get my weight up and all that. So
I don't think it plays a factor that much. I played at Clemson and also played in Knoxville, so I'm very familiar with playing in big stadiums.
Really through learning to take coaching from teammates, coaches, and just taking it through one year out the other and just focusing on the next rep and performing there.
I think it's good. I think I hold my weight pretty well. I range between 302 and 305, and it's no problem. I feel the same as I did when I was lighter.
Yeah, so I entered the portal, and they're one of the schools that contacted me out of many. And I wanted to be kind of close to home since Charlotte was only 4.5 hours, and Oxford from back to Georgia is about 4 hours and 50 minutes, so it wasn't that much of a difference.
Yeah, the depth is a really fun thing to see. You see from one to all throughout, people are challenging each other to perform, and it's just going to make each other better.
I feel like with the second group, Jalen Cunningham, Micah Pettis, Sid Melton, Reese, we can all go in if they needed us and produce like the first team could.
How have you guys just kind of grown together as a unit since the spring?
We've been together since the spring, and it's like we're all on the same page. Me and Jalen on the same page. We trust Reese, Micah, and Sid are on the same page, and they trust each other. And as a whole, we're good together.
It's been good, getting to know new teammates, getting used to new operation and everything. So it's been fun, but it's a learning progress.
Yeah, I think everybody's having fun, enjoying each other. We're spending more time to each other, so we're learning from one another and growing as people and men.
In the run game, I feel like I can be a little bit more aggressive. That's really the biggest thing. Wide zone, inside zone, get better than that.
I'm comfortable from anywhere where my coaches put me out there. I hope they believe in me to make the kick, and wherever they feel like they're most comfortable with me kicking, that's where I'll be kicking from.
But you don't have a yard line number in your mind where you're like, okay, I can be money from here on in?
Probably around 56, around there, 56, 57, I'd say. Under 60 probably in the game, because in practice, you can hit kicks off a stick and all that, but when it's live in a game, it's much different.
I hope to show growth from first, for me personally, 1 year to the next year, perform with more reps. And I think as a team, we're just focused on consistency as a team and performing.
Yes, because I feel like as a backup, you have to be just as prepared as a starter to go in and do what they do and have no setbacks or holding back the team or anything like that.
Yeah, it was against West Kentucky. It was left hash. I played Mason Brooks, so that was against him. So I brought it up to him whenever I got here.
Davison, I love Davison, the way he plays, the attitude he has each day. Rafe, new guy from wide receiver to defense, I like him a lot, and I think he'll bring a lot to the defense.
Zach and Du, they can run the ball. And Mason Brooks. And on defense, who do we have transferred in on defense? Jared Ivey on the D-line, Asheen, those guys.
I think it's just Coach Kiffin, and I can't remember who else. But I know I remember beating Coach Kiffin in my freshman year.
Me and Rafe, we love special teams, and we love those reps together. So basically the hard work and consistency he brings to defense will help us a lot with depth. By far, J.J. Henry, we talk a lot trash, have a lot of fun going at each other. Braylon Brown, too. For me, it's the people I came in with as a freshman. So I love playing those guys. Grit, I'd say. From every position has it, and every position uses it every day.